Delta virus is very much different from the ones we have seen before.
The race to get people vaccinated as the Delta variant dominates. Health officials at every level are making it clear the way out of this pandemic is to get more people vaccinated. And tonight, the 22 News I-team looks at vaccination rates here in Massachusetts and how a tiny town on the Cape led to new concerns and new studies about how easily Delta spreads. A large outbreak of breakthrough COVID-19 infections in Provincetown helped to elevate the profile of the Delta variant. 90% of the cases that had sequencing performed were traced back to the Delta variant. As Provincetown's town manager Alex Morris pointed out on Twitter, the outbreak was quickly contained, but it raised new questions about the severity of new variants. It's a new reality that post-vaccine life isn't going back to what we remember before the pandemic.
I kind of loosened up a little bit, maybe 2 weeks ago, but now with the Delta variant, I've gone back to wearing my mask everywhere.
DANIELLE BEASON of AMHERST is headed off to Boston University this fall. She told the 22 News I-team that she's looking forward to in-person learning. It's something she didn't get to experience in her freshman year. Johnny Jimenez of Springfield isn't vaccinated yet, but he worries about his children. One is 5 years old and isn't yet eligible for the vaccine.
I'm kind of weighing my options. I really want to be a student of it and make sure that I get the right one and things of that nature. But it's definitely something I want to do in a very, very, very near future.
So far, 168 million people are fully vaccinated in the U.S. Among vaccine-eligible Americans, meaning those 12 and older, 58% are fully vaccinated. The 22 News I-team looked at state-by-state data. Massachusetts has one of the highest vaccination rates in the country, with 73% of the state receiving at least one dose. 64% of Massachusetts' population is fully vaccinated. The 22 News I-team also looked over new data on breakthrough infections just released from the State Department of Public Health. Health experts here in Boston say that 100 people statewide who had been fully vaccinated against the virus died from it by the end of July. But the agency notes that those deaths make up just 0.002% of all vaccinated people here in Massachusetts.
The safest way to protect yourself is getting vaccinated.
If the vaccination rate stays the way it is right now, there's a real possibility that we're going to have more contagious variants, right?
Yes, and then as I mentioned before, if we allow it to propagate, there's just one virus that mutates and propagates. That's, the vaccines that we've used before may not be effective anymore.
Dr. Armando PAEZ of Baystate Medical Center's Infectious Disease Division says what makes Delta variant so concerning is that it's so contagious. The CDC compared it to the chicken pox. In fact, the investigation into that outbreak in Provincetown led to the CDC revising its mask guidance because health officials learned that fully vaccinated people might spread the Delta variant as easily as unvaccinated people. Crystal Moore of Vermont was school shopping in Holyoke. Her daughter is headed off to school in the coming weeks.
I'm a little bit concerned, but not that much just because it isn't prevalent, and she's vaccinated as well, so.
It may not be prevalent where she lives right now, but health officials warn that Delta is coming and that all Americans need to do what Crystal and her daughter have already done and get vaccinated. And back to that Provincetown outbreak, the 22 News I-team obtained this email right here that's being sent out to vacationers who were in P-Town during that outbreak. And we've learned that DPH, in conjunction with Beth Israel Hospital in Boston, are conducting a study to better determine the immune response of those who received either the Moderna, Pfizer, or Johnson & Johnson vaccines. I'm told that they're specifically looking at how they hold up against the Delta variant.